I'm Jason, the world is yours, and today we have a story about the TSA is rolling out a new facial recognition technology to check IDs at airports across the country. A passenger inserts their ID into the unit for it to scan, and the unit snaps a picture of the passenger and matches it with the photo on the ID while automatically checking if the passenger is actually due to fly out of the airport that day and if the document is valid. So, my goodness, this little machine does a lot. It takes your photo, it checks if your photo matches your ID, it checks if the ID is real, it checks if you're supposed to be on a flight that day. There's a lot going on here. That's interesting. The TSA new technology snaps a real time picture of a passenger and matches it with their scanned ID. It improves efficiency in checking IDs and speeds up checks by reducing human contact. The new credential authentication technology was introduced in 2022 last year and is referred to as CAT 2. A new facial recognition technology is automatically matching passengers' real-time pictures to their IDs at Baltimore Washington International / Thurgood Marshall Airport. The Transport Security Administration has started using 36 new credential authentication technology units at the airport, according to a recent press release. A passenger inserts their ID into the unit for it to scan, and then the unit snaps a picture of the passenger and matches it with the ID or with the photo on the ID while automatically checking if they are due to fly out of the airport that day and if the document is valid. The unit has a library of over 2,500 types of ID for reference, and the photos are not stored. I don't understand how both of those things could be true. I understand how they could have reference points, but how can the photos not be stored at all? I don't understand how that's possible. The new technology called CAT2 enhances detection capabilities for identifying fraudulent IDs such as driver's license and passports at a checkpoint, and it increases efficiency by automatically verifying a passenger's identification. The TSA Federal Security Director for Maryland said in a press release, "This helps ensure that we know who is, wouldn't it be who are boarding? Is it who is or who are? I feel like it should be are. I don't know. In other words, passengers won't have to hand TSA officers their boarding passes to clear security while it's business as usual for the airline check-in process. If someone doesn't want their picture taken, that's interesting, they can proceed with a standard ID check-in with a TSA officer, a TSA spokesperson previously told Insider. TSA started using the technology in 2022, and similar units are also being used at Denver International Airport and Salt Lake City International Airport, among others. This is kind of an interesting story here. I don't know how I feel about this, right? Like the whole real-time photo, the idea that the photos aren't stored. It's just something seems off with this. And then also it's they don't really tell what problem they're trying to fix here. Is it to speed up the check-in process? Is it because we don't have enough TSA agents? Is it because we have TSA agents letting people through with fraudulent documents, right? Because this machine seems to do so much, right? It checks your ID. It checks if the documents are valid. It checks if you're even supposed to be there that day, and it takes your current photo. So I'm pretty sure it seems like the average person would prefer to go through, the regular TSA process than to go through this process, because I personally, I would rather go to the TSA agent who I just hand my ID. They look at me and they say, "Yeah, you look like this person. I mean, you look like your person on the ID," and they just hand it back to me. I just move on. Where this process is like, you got to take a photo. It says, is it the photos aren't stored, but I mean, they have to be stored at some point because I mean, how would they know if you're supposed to take the flight that day if there's no matching, reference point, right? Like there has to be some type of matching reference point, some kind of refreshed, hey, these are all the passengers who are going to be flying out of this airport today who are scheduled to fly out today, right? I would imagine my name would be on that list for, or that I would, at some point they would be like, my name would be on a list of flights heading out. So I don't know, I just don't understand it. I don't really have too big of a problem. I would prefer to do the TSA agent, just hand my ID to the agent and just move on. But I don't think I would have a huge problem with them if I had to do this machine where I had to insert my ID and they take a current photo of me. I just worry that a few people, because even with my ID in California, that ID it's valid all the way through 2027. I just feel like I won't look like, the same person. Not that I'm gonna look too different, but other people could start looking, very different than the ID photo that they took many, many years ago. So, what happens if you look that different and the machine says, well, no, you don't look like that person enough or something, because it's just like, if the photos aren't stored, how can the machine really 100% identify you are that person if, your hair color is different, if you've had facial surgery or something's happened to your face in the last few years, that it won't match your ID. It is very possible that your ID and your when you took that photo compared to the photo you take the day of taking the airplane, that you may look a little different, and there may be some hiccups in the system where the machine says, no, you don't look enough like the person on your ID. I think that would be a way bigger issue, but we'll see. This is only at 3 airports at the moment. TSA currently says you have the option to not have to go through this process if you prefer to go through the TSA security agent process. We'll see how long that lasts. But let me know your opinion of this story. Do you prefer to go through a TSA agent, or would you prefer to go through some kind of a facial recognition technology, real-time photo machine? I'm Jason. The world is yours. Today we had a story about TSA is rolling out, or would it be is or are rolling out? TSA are rolling out, right? A new facial technology, recognition technology to check IDs at airports across the country of United States of America. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the $1 donation button, and please tune in to the next video on this channel. Thanks a million for watching.